Hello friends, welcome in the seventh lecture of Theory of Estimation. In this lecture, we are going to study the new concept that is minimum variance unbiased estimator. In short, we are saying MVUE, minimum variance unbiased estimator. MVUE. The definition of minimum variance unbiased estimator is an unbiased estimator T is said to be minimum variance unbiased estimator of theta MVUE of theta among the unbiased estimators if variance of t is less than equal to variance of t dash for any unbiased estimators t dash of theta. Means what? If t dash is the set of all unbiased estimators of theta, among all these unbiased estimators, the variance of t, if the variance of t is minimum, then we are saying that t is the minimum variance unbiased estimator. Note on this is, first, minimum variance unbiased estimator always may not exist. And the second note is, we can refer to minimum variance unbiased estimator as the most efficient estimator. As the most efficient estimator. And the result on this is result number 1. If minimum variance unbiased estimator exists, if minimum variance unbiased estimator exists, then it is unique. Then it is unique. So to prove this, if possible, there exist two unbiased estimators, minimum variance unbiased estimators T1 and T2. After that, we show that they are equal. So first we assume that, to write the proof for this, if possible, there exist T1 and T2 are two minimum variance unbiased estimators of theta. Means what? Variance of T1 is equal to variance of T2 because having the minimum variance both, and we take that as a sigma square. And if the correlation between T1 and T2 is rho, then if T1 and T2 are the minimum variance unbiased estimator, if I take a linear combination of these two, that is T is equal to T1 plus T2 upon 2. If you take a expected value of T, that is also theta. Then if T is the unbiased estimator of theta, then we can say that variance of T is always greater than equal to variance of any T1 or T2, correct? Because T1 and T2 are the minimum variance unbiased estimators of theta. So variance of T1 is less. But you know variance of T, that is variance of T1 plus T2 divided by 2. So which is equal to 1 by 4 into variance of T1 plus variance of T2 plus 2 times covariance of T1 T2. But you know correlation is given, that is covariance of T1 comma T2 divided by sigma 1 sigma 2. So I can replace the value of covariance of T1 T2 and all this sigma 1 sigma 2. So you will get which is equal to 1 by 4. Variance of T1 is sigma square, correct? Variance of T2 is also sigma square plus 2 times rho sigma 1 sigma 2, these two terms are same, so sigma square. Finally we get, if you take a 2 common, you will get sigma square plus twice rho sigma square. So twice sigma square divided by 4. If I take 2 common, what is remaining? Sigma square in bracket 1 plus rho divided by 2. Correct? Then if I put this value here, variance of T means variance of T1 plus T2 upon 2. So that is sigma square into 1 plus rho divided by 2. So that term is greater than equal to sigma square. Then if I take this term in this side, so I will get, and sigma square get cancelled, so 1 plus rho is greater than equal to 2, correct? And this implies if I take 1 in this side, rho is greater than equal to 1. So correlation coefficient is always lies between -1 and 1. So this is the range. -1 is less than equal to, rho is less than equal to 1. So minimum value is -1 and maximum value is 1. So according to this, if rho is greater than equal to 1 means what? Rho is exactly equal to 1. And if rho is equal to 1 means there is perfect positive correlation between T1 and T2. If that positive correlation, if I write that correlation as T1 is equal to A into T2 plus B. So this is a perfect positive linear relationship between two variables, and perfect positive linear relationship. So if rho is greater than 0 implies A is also greater than 0, because rho and A have the same algebraic sign, correct? So expect, if I take variance of T1 which is equal to variance of A into T2 plus B, which is equal to A square into variance of T2. But we know variance of T1 and T2 are same. So this implies variance of T1 is sigma square, which is equal to A square into sigma square. So this implies sigma square gets cancelled, A square is equal to 1. And this implies A is equal to plus or minus 1. But here we say that A is greater than 0. So this implies your value of A is equal to 1. And if I put A is equal to 1 here, I get the answer T1 is equal to T2 plus B. Then if I take expectation both sides, expected value of T1 is equal to expected value of T2 plus B. So which is equal, expected value of T1 is theta, which is equal to expected value of T2 is also theta plus B. So according to this we can say that B is equal to 0. And if B is equal to 0, by putting A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 0, so you get T1, T1 has the formula A T2 plus B. And if I put B is equal to 0 and A is equal to 1, so what is my answer? This implies T1 is equal to T2. So there exists unique unbiased estimator of theta because T1 is equal to T2. Hence, minimum variance unbiased estimator is unique. Then the example on this minimum variance unbiased estimator is example number 1 is, suppose x1 x2 digest up to xn is a random sample of size n from a distribution with mean mu and variance sigma square. Let summation over I is going from 1 to n ai is equal to 1 and values of I are going from 1 to up to n are the constants. Show that t is equal to summation over I is going from 1 to n ai xi is an unbiased estimator of mu. Find the variance of t and show that it is minimum when ai is equal to 1 upon n for I is going from 1 to up to n. So to find a solution for this, first is our aim is to show that t is an unbiased estimator of mu. So we take first expected value of t, so which is equal to expected value of summation over I is going from 1 to n ai xi. So which is, we can take expectation inside. So summation over I is going from 1 to n ai into expectation of xi, which is equal to summation over I is going from 1 to n ai and expectation of xi is mu. So mu is constant, we take outside, what is remains summation over I is going from 1 to n ai, but mu is there. So summation of ai is 1, so what is remaining? Only mu. So mean t is an unbiased estimator of mu. To prove the second part, to get the variance of t which is equal to variance of summation over I is going from 1 to n ai xi, which is equal to, so a1 x1 is there, a2 x2, so first we will get summation over I is going from 1 to n ai square into variance of xi plus double summation over I is going from 1 to n, summation over j is going from 1 to n, ai aj into covariance of xi xj, and the condition I is not equal to j. But you know, xi and xj, we are saying that they are random sample of size n. So this implies covariance of xi and xj, if they are random sample, they are independent, so covariance of xi xj is 0. So you get summation over I is going from 1 to n, ai square into sigma square. So finally sigma square summation over I is going from 1 to n ai. So this is your variance of t. Then by using Lagrange's multiplier, we minimize the variance of t subject to the condition summation of ai is equal to 1. So using Lagrange's multiplier, we minimize variance of t subject to the condition summation of ai is equal to 1. So this implies what? Summation of ai minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, we write the equation phi of a1 a2 dash up to an is equal to variance of t, minimizing that term, plus lambda is your Lagrange's multiplier into condition summation of ai minus 1, and which is equal to, variance of t already we calculate, sigma square summation of ai square, summation of ai square, plus lambda into summation of ai minus 1, I write as it is, lambda into summation of ai minus 1. So this is my function phi a1 a2 dash up to an. Then we differentiate that function, partial differentiation with respect to ai. So we get partial derivative of this function phi with respect to ai, which is equal to, so here partial derivative of ai, I split this term as a sigma square in bracket a1 square plus a2 square plus dash something ai square is there, plus last is an square, plus lambda into a1 plus a2 plus something ai will be there, and last we get an and minus 1. So lambda is multiplied to both, correct? And if you take a derivative, partial derivative with respect to other terms, we take as a constant. So you will get ai square, derivative of ai square is twice ai into this sigma square, plus lambda, and this only ai is there 1, so lambda into 1 is lambda, and we compare that with respect to 0. So you will get twice ai into sigma square plus lambda is equal to 0. So this implies twice ai sigma square is equal to minus lambda, and this implies ai is equal to minus lambda divided by twice sigma square, And if we take a summation both sides, get summation of ai is equal to minus lambda divided by twice sigma square. But we know summation of ai is 1. So this implies if you take a summation both sides, then you get summation of ai is equal to minus lambda and addition of this lambda how many times? N times. So you'll get this. But summation of ai is 1. So 1 is equal to minus n lambda divided by twice sigma square. So this implies what is the value of lambda? Minus twice sigma square divided by n. Then if I put the value of lambda in this equation ai, so this is my ai. So if I put the value of lambda, I will get ai is equal to minus lambda upon twice sigma square. If I put the value of lambda, so I will get minus minus will be plus twice sigma square upon n into twice sigma square. So this twice sigma square gets cancelled. Final answer is 1 upon n. And I is going from 1 to up to n. So this is the point of minima. And if I put the value of ai in the formula summation of ai into xi, so I'll get summation of xi and ai is 1, that is your x bar. So x bar is minimum variance unbiased estimator for mu. X bar is minimum variance unbiased estimator of mu. Okay, thank you.